9 Most Dangerous Toys of the 1970s. 1. Disco Punch. Disco punches were handheld toy guns. They shot miniature plastic frisbees through the air. These toys were advertised as space shooters. The box carried a stern warning: do not shoot the disc in the direction of other person's face at short distance. Kids would gleefully ignore it. 2. Javelin darts. This was the most popular type of lawn darts. Darts were actual metal-tipped darts. A typical set included 4 large darts and 2 targets. The darts were 12 inches long. Playing this popular game was literally dangerous. After one too many injuries, lawn darts were banned in 1988. 3. Lemon Twist. Chimp Toy released the Skip Toy in 1975. Basically, it was a rock-filled lemon tied to a string. The concept was the same as the Skip It, but the lemon was way too heavy. Dodging it became a matter of life and limb. 4. Clackers. Clackers were a real craze in the 1960s and 70s. The toy was rather primitive in design. 2 hard acrylic balls were attached to a tab with a string. The balls were about 2 inches in diameter. Swinging the balls made them clack together. Smashed fingers, broken noses, and knocked out teeth ensued. 5. Swing bikes. The late 1960s saw a wheelie bike craze. These were children's bicycles, styled as hot rods. They had 8-panner handlebars, Dayton rims, and banana seats. The small front wheels were easy to lift off the ground. Enter the swing bike, which upped the game further. It had a second steering axis in front of the seat. You could ride with one wheel on a curb and another on the road. You could also ride in a cool S shape. The swing bike was hard to steer, but very easy to spill from. 6. Dip a Flower. Back in the 1970s, Dip a Flower kits were everywhere. They were marketed to young elementary schoolers. On paper, these craft flowers seem harmless, but in reality, they were chemical hazards. Resin and a chemical catalyst had to be combined. They formed a hard plastic-like cast. The 2-part resin mixture was highly toxic. No gloves or face masks were included. 7. Super Elastic Bubble Plastic. Super Elastic Bubble Plastic was a tube of viscous goo. A ball of it was put on the end of a straw. Kids would blow into the straw. The goo turned into a semi-malleable bubble. The goo was made of polyvinyl acetate, ethyl acetate, and acetone. This combination gives off noxious fumes. Those fumes would gather in the straw. Kids who inhaled them suffered a variety of symptoms. Dizziness and muscle twitching weren't the worst of them. 8. Lego. The 1970s version of Lego looked the same as it does today. So how could it have possibly been dangerous? The answer is lead. Until the early 1980s, Lego bricks used lead-based paint. It also contained cadmium and other heavy metals. 9. Chemistry sets. Today's chemistry sets are as safe as they can be. They contain mild harmless chemicals and plastic lab equipment. But back in the 1970s, they were hardcore. There were dangerous chemicals, such as sodium cyanide. There were alcohol-filled Bunsen burners. There were breakable glass beakers and test tubes. Still, it was an improvement compared to the 1950s. Those chemistry sets actually contained radioactive elements